Believe it or not, the very first bug in computer history was an actual bug, a moth, to be exact. But that was just the beginning. From literal bugs to cutting-edge AI tools, the history of software debugging is full of wild stories and brilliant breakthroughs. Stick around to find out how we went from chasing insects to chasing down code errors. Imagine you're programming one of the first computers ever built, and suddenly it crashes. You look inside the machine, and what do you find? A moth trapped in the circuits. That's exactly what happened to Grace Hopper and her team back in 1947. And just like that, the term debugging was born. Sure, we're not chasing down literal bugs anymore, but that moment sparked a journey that would forever change how we deal with errors in code. Let's dive into the fascinating history of software debugging and how it evolved into the advanced tools we use today. In the 1940s and 50s, computers were massive, room-sized machines. Programming them was no simple task, and when something went wrong, there wasn't a fancy debugger to help you out. You had to literally dig through the machine to find the problem, and in one famous case, that problem was a moth. Grace Hopper's team had been working on the Harvard Mark II computer when it suddenly malfunctioned. After some investigation, they found the culprit, a moth that had gotten stuck in the relay. Hopper taped the moth into the logbook and marked it as the first actual case of a bug being found. That's where the term debugging comes from. As computers advanced, so did the need for better ways to catch and fix errors in code. Early programming languages like assembly and Fortran didn't exactly make life easy for developers. If there was a mistake, it could take hours, or even days, to find it. In the 1960s and 70s, things started to change. Debuggers were created to help track down errors in a more systematic way. One of the first tools was called DDT, no, not the pesticide. It stood for Dynamic Debugging Technique, and it was used to hunt down errors in PDP computers. Imagine running a program, and instead of manually going through the entire code, a tool helps you pinpoint the exact location of the problem. It was a game changer for developers, and it paved the way for modern debugging. But the real revolution in debugging came with the rise of integrated development environments, or IDEs. Tools like Visual Studio, Eclipse, and later IntelliJ introduced built-in debuggers that made finding and fixing bugs faster and more efficient. Look at this. Now, when you write code, the debugger can instantly tell you when there's an error, show you exactly where it's happening, and even let you step through your code one line at a time. This makes the process of fixing bugs a lot less painful. And let's not forget the best part, no more moths. Fast forward to today, and debugging is entering a whole new era. With the rise of artificial intelligence, tools like Deep Code and Codex are helping developers find and fix bugs faster than ever. These AI-powered systems can analyze huge amounts of code and predict potential errors before they even happen. Imagine an AI that not only helps you find bugs but also suggests how to fix them. That's the future of debugging, smarter, faster, and more intuitive than ever. Of course, debugging isn't just about fixing small typos in your code. Sometimes, a single bug can have massive consequences. Let's look at some of the most famous and expensive bugs in history. Remember the Mars Climate Orbiter? A simple unit conversion error, confusing metric and imperial units, caused a $327 million spacecraft to disintegrate in space. And then there was the Ariane 5 rocket explosion, caused by a software bug that resulted in a massive loss of the rocket and its payload. It's a reminder that even the smallest bugs can cause big problems. That's why debugging is so critical in the world of software development. So, from moths to machine learning, the history of software debugging is a journey of innovation, trial, and error, literally. Debugging has become one of the most important aspects of software development, helping programmers fix mistakes and prevent disasters. And who knows? The next time you're debugging your own code, maybe you'll discover the next groundbreaking tool or technique. Until then, happy coding, and remember, always check for moths. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history of debugging, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more programming stories. See you in the next episode.